All right. What's going on, everybody? Jason and Brandy here for episode number 162. Does that sound right?
I'm not sure, but I'm excited. We're in the 160s. That's exciting to me.
Yeah, I think it's 162. So glad to be here. Glad you guys are watching and listening. Last week, you may have noticed we missed an episode. I'll take the blame. My voice was gone, so I had that deep cough at night only, whatever that is. I didn't go to the doctor. It's kind of here and gone quickly, and I literally wouldn't show up on your speakers or if I tried to. So there's no way we could record, but we are here today.
And we are glad that you're feeling better. That's important to us. That's our primary goal, is to make sure you're happy and healthy, Jason.
That sounds great. So I told Brandy this before we recorded, but for everybody listening, I spent some money and upgrade this internet. So hopefully we don't have all the interference and stuff we've had in the last few weeks. I'll take blame for that as well. I'll just take blame for anything wrong in your life right now. It's my fault, and I apologize.
Oh, let me get the list out.
Let's see how much this guy can take.
Mm-hmm.
So before we dive into the meat today, did I tell you about this this new crazy diet or lifestyle change that I'm doing?
No, please tell us.
Have I not told you?
I don't. Well, maybe it did and it didn't sink in. So.
Glad to see I'm so impactful there.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's about 3.5 weeks ago. My wife was like, "Yeah, I want to try this diet," and blah blah blah. And I was just kind of harping on it. She actually said this about 5 weeks ago. I was kind of ripping on it. I was like, "Diets are stupid because nobody sticks to them," and blah blah blah. I'm positive we talked about this, but anyway. So finally, I was like, "You know what? I'll just do it with you. Not that I feel like I need a diet, just to support you." And it's
that was very nice.
yeah, and it's like it's a clean keto diet, and I was like,
yes,
try it for a month, let's see what happens. So like a week into this thing, actually about 3 days into it, I'm walking around like I'm drunk, like I'm running into walls. I'm like, man, I'm so dizzy. I need carbs, I need sugar, like I'm the king of those things.
what
And
do they call that? The keto flu or
keto
something?
flu, yep.
The keto flu.
And I didn't even understand what keto was, but my wife was researching it, and there's this one book we're using, and I just said, I'm giving it 30 days because I said I would. I'm not going to stop no matter what. So I got past that and just started dropping weight like crazy. And they say you're going to lose a lot of water weight. Well, I fast forward to now, and I'm 3.5 weeks in. All my digestive issues that I've had my whole life that I thought were normal that weren't apparently are all gone. I sleep like a baby. I'm down almost 14 pounds.
Rock on.
Working out, 4 times a week, feeling really good. My appetite is almost non-existent. I have no cravings at all. And it's like my wife's having similar results. And it's like, it's something we're doing together. We cook almost every meal together. So like the kids are getting involved, and it's like, we're not buying the junk and the bread and all the stuff that we did. And I'm not like trying to sell anybody on the diet, because that's not what it's for, but it's nice to try new things sometimes in life. Because you
especially as a team with your family.
Yeah, because you might be really surprised at the outcome. I did this thing with no expectations, and now it's like I'm 37, and minus a sore knee, I feel like I'm 21 again. Like it's really great. Yeah, I was playing basketball with my kid the other day, and still able to jump up and grab the rim. And I was like, I haven't even jumped in like 5 years. Like my legs are like, what are you doing to us? So kind of wild, but we keep rolling with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I started a new diet this week too. It's called the stomach flu.
I hear weight loss is pretty rapid with that one too.
Rapid weight loss. All the best perk that comes out of it is reduced portion sizes. So you get used to, eating nothing. So those 3 chicken nuggets I had for today were more than enough. It was perfect.
So when you were feeling your worst with that, did Chick-fil-A sound good to you then?
Chick-fil-A still doesn't sound good to me.
Wow.
Like I would knew it was a bad day when I was on this morning. I was like, oh, I could stop at Chick-fil-A. And I was like, no Chick-fil-A. So yeah.
Since you said that, I have to accept the fact this may be the last time I ever see you again, because you might not make it. That's crazy.
I'm on my deathbed. Let me tell you.
So
when Chick-fil-A doesn't sound good, that's terrible.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like for me, my daughter still comes home every day like, do you want some candy? And I'm like, no. She's like, this is so weird. Because I was the guy that would buy the big bag of peanut M&Ms. And you're like, oh my God, it's $11. Am I really doing this? And I would eat the entire thing in a sitting and be like, what's for dessert? Like I just loved candy and carbs my whole life. Like that was my absolute addiction. And I would eat all the time. My wife's like, "You hungry?" I'd be like, "No, it's just something to do." Now I look at that like, what? I can't do that. Right before this, I had lunch and it was so small. I was like, is that going to fill me up? And halfway through, I was like, I don't think I can finish this. So
Nice.
interesting stuff. So
Well, I'm
today,
excited for you. I'm looking forward to the updates on that, by the way. I'll
awesome.
remember next time.
You know, the coolest thing is like when jeans that you really couldn't button without kind of sucking in and forcing it, you just keep them for yard work, now fall off of you with a belt. It's like, whoa, what? Yeah, it's kind of neat.
That's awesome.
So,
All right. So what are
this,
we actually going to talk about today? Now that we've figured out how healthy you are and that I am apparently unhealthy, what would we like to actually talk about today?
well, something interesting is, and I think this is going to speak to a lot of people out there, but how to get started making money in the marketing world without doing marketing. Kind of
That sounds
interesting.
intriguing.
Yeah, I had this thought late last night, and it wasn't even. It was just me saying, "What do people care about within the world of what I do, and how can you package up differently?" It's something every company deals with. And I started to realize something quite shocking. I was like, I never started, I never started in digital marketing on purpose. It was kind of an accident. And for me, it was with ClickFunnels, and it could be with any software out there that's used, honestly. But it was like once I figured out how to be an architect in something, it wasn't that other people couldn't
You need
figure
to
it out.
explain that. Not everybody understands what you mean by that. They think architect is going to build a building.
So when I'm talking about being an architect, with ClickFunnels, it could be with a website, it could be with anything online. I figured out how to build stuff within a software. Okay. And I was willing to put in the time to figure out how to do most of the basic stuff and more. And I always assumed that I never thought like, oh, wow, this is going to have value. I thought, well, if I can learn this for myself, maybe I can help somebody else. And I started to realize there was a lot of people that I would talk to them that were way smarter than me at marketing, but they were unwilling to do the work themselves. So then I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it. And then I was like, wait a minute. I wonder how many people out there are like this. And if you start to look at it, how many people do you know that get their grass cut? How many people get their hair cut? How many people hire painters and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Most people, if you put a gun to their head, could do stuff that they don't want to do. Okay. So if you can learn online from the comfort of your house on weekends to excel in one platform, like literally pick one. You want to work in MailChimp because you've used it and it's kind of easy for you, become good at MailChimp. And if you learn, 10% more than somebody you're helping, you have value. So if anybody listening wants to make some really good part-time money or serious money, digital marketing, you don't actually have to know how to do marketing. It's kind of a crazy statement, don't you think?
Um, and I would say that it's true, but I would say that you can't just stop with that. So yes, you can do ClickFunnels, but if you're going to do ClickFunnels or MailChimp or whatever, to get good at it, you do need some more. You don't have to go back to school. Like my favorite book, oh, I don't have it with me. I should wait, maybe I do. My favorite book right now, and it's all marketing, is Building Your Story Brand.
Donald Miller, my man.
Donald Miller. So I would agree with you. Just start. You've got to start somewhere. But to get from that architect piece to the one that somebody wants to hire because you're always making a lot of money with it, you've got to be able to understand some core marketing principles. And
Yep.
Seriously, if you don't know any, this one will tell you. Like,
Yep.
Trust me, I have thick textbooks on marketing, and this is better.
Absolutely.
But it's like you said, you just have to start. So I actually know a guy who's coming up, getting ready to think about, I don't know, maybe if it's in the works yet, but I know this guy, his name's Jason, and he's actually putting together an online course about how to do ClickFunnels. And I must say, thanks to my buddy Garland, I'm doing Dr. Garland Vance. He's creating an online leadership course. And he's like, Brandy, what do you know about ClickFunnels? And I said, nothing, but I have a friend who does. And he's like, well, is that enough osmosis learning for you to do my ClickFunnel for me? And I was like, sure, I've taken web design classes. It can't be that difficult. So truthfully, I have to give you some props though, Jason, because it is the user interface is really good. Like it makes it easy. It gives you a checklist. Hey, have you done this? Have you done this? But at the same time, it's a little nuanced, right? Like you have to put effort and learn it. It's not like Facebook where it says write your post here. Like you have to put some energy into it. So I absolutely agree with what you're saying. If you want that side hustle, if you want to start in an industry that you haven't done before, pick one. Pick MailChimp, pick ClickFunnels, build one, find somebody that, wants to do something and build it for them. Because if you're like me, here's my biggest problem with that kind of stuff. So I have taken my web design classes and I've built sites for, yes, I actually wrote the HTML, which is ridiculous to me. I don't know why anybody would want to do that. But unless I have a reason to do it, like I'm in the class or I need to do it for a client, I won't do it. I won't practice it. I won't play with it. So get a client or a buddy and say, okay, you want this. I want to learn ClickFunnels. Let's partner up and just barter it for whatever you want. Like maybe they'll give you a gift card to Outback. I like Outback. So if you're sending in any gift cards, Outback works for me. Not Chick-fil-A today. Chick-fil-A tomorrow.
There you go. So here's what's wild. I mean, you have to know, you don't even have to, you can actually, I've done this before. I'm not even embarrassed to say this, but you can actually take on a project. And if somebody really doesn't know, which a lot of people don't, they don't have any idea what a funnel is or whatever it is,
They really don't.
you can literally take on the project, put in the time and Google how to do it and literally teach yourself as you go. I can't tell you the amount of times. The most stressful thing I've ever done to date is I was working on a Shopify store that was live. I was working in raw code, meaning if I screwed something up, I could disrupt this income stream. And this guy's making like 70 grand a month.
Yikes.
And I thought it was going to take me an hour, and it took me about 10 because I screwed it up and then I had to learn what to do and fix it. And I was literally dry heaving in a trash can. I was so stressed out. But
poor Jason.
Next time around, I either say, yeah, I can do that, or I'm not even going to try. No, you learn. So if you're willing to put in the work, you can learn. And if you just start there and you go no further and you just become a specialist in one platform, you don't even need to be that good. If you can understand the basic function of a platform, you can make an extra $1,000 a month part-time. Now, if you want to take that to the next level, figure out how that platform, like if you're going to get set up with ClickFunnels, what's the next logical thing that people need? I'll tell you, paid traffic. Okay. So it might be smart if I get really good at Facebook ads or LinkedIn or Google, or maybe all of them. Because now guess what? I not only have 4 different platforms I can work in on as a project, but I can upsell and build more value. So as you start to go down that road, you can make more money. And then where the really big money is at, if you want to go to the next level, is when you can take the strategy piece, understand how people move through your platform, where they're coming from, how they get there, and where they're going. When you can tie that together and have an intelligent conversation, and the client says, you tell me, what do you think? And you actually can confidently answer. That's when you can literally name your price. You get in front of the right people and the price is never too high. Okay. So it's really interesting, but I'm just now really understanding that marketing strategy piece. And that's where the big value's at. But just start as a builder, just start as a person who's willing to learn something and be confident, and you can make really good money, and you can do it from anywhere in the world. So for people who feel trapped, or for people who are like, oh, I've tried all these things, they don't work, I'm giving you a cheat sheet. There's a huge demand with online marketing. There's a lot of good platforms out there. Anything around the online sales funnel, anything email-based, landing page-based, traffic-based, it's a gold mine.
So I would echo all of that. And then I would add in, even if the digital world is not your cup of tea, add in your side hustle anyway. Like if you love woodworking, thank you. Start selling your pieces. If you love your horses and you have 3, but you only have time to ride 1, start giving writing lessons. That way you're riding with somebody else. Whatever it is that gives you passion. If you love flying airplanes, start instructing. Whatever gives you passion, you want to do that stuff anyway. So just do it. Like, let it make money for you while you're enjoying yourself.
You just said something that really got my attention.
Airplanes,
Well,
horses.
no, it's not even the specific content matter, but think of anything that you enjoy, any hobby, any work, and think about where you are now and where you started. There's a huge market for people. I had this conversation with a guy today. They always want to go from where they are and fast track. Nobody wants to actually go through the learning process. Everybody wants to
that
fast track.
10,000 hours. I don't want those 10,000 hours.
Yep. Everybody wants to flip a damn switch and have instant gratification. I want to be able to enter the Kentucky Derby and win by this afternoon, but I've never, even seen a horse in real life. So anything that you're doing, that's why online courses and info products have so much value. But one of my biggest problems is an audience. I don't put the time into developing an audience. I put my head down and became a builder, became an expert in a couple platforms, and that audience piece will get you where you want to go quicker than anything. So for me, that's one of my big things, the audience. But if you just focus on, if you have an audience and you can learn the skills on the way, even if you know as much as the people you're talking to, if you're willing to put in the work and save them time, there's value there.
There is value. Couldn't agree more. You said so much. I had nothing else to add. I'm sorry. I thought it was good. And I just put a little exclamation mark on the end, and that was it.
So just to derail for a second. So we've got some guests coming on here.
I can't imagine.
When I listen back and I'm kind of editing these, you take a lot of little shots at me like that I never noticed live. Like, man, people are just probably laughing at me because she's just pounding away. I don't even notice. So
it's all love.
We're gonna
My
have some
native
guests
love
on
language
here.
is sarcasm.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're gonna have some guests on here soon, which would be neat because I'm really hoping to do the multiple screens of video. That'll just give another dynamic to the show. And there's a lot of cool things I've thought about. I would love to do some even Q&A if people would give us questions and we could answer some of those on the air. That'd be a lot of fun as well. What do you think?
That'd be super cool.
Mm-hmm.
We have lots of opinions. We'll share them anytime.
So let me ask you, what do you think the toughest part is for somebody who's like, man, I want to do something on my own on the side? Like, what's the hardest part of getting started, and how do you think they can get started mentally breaking through that barrier?
I think the hardest thing is convincing yourself that you have time to do it, because we're all busy, right? Everybody's busy, and you have to weigh out, where do I want my time to go? Do I want my time to go to 4 hours of Netflix binging, or do I want my time to go to 4 hours of working on ClickFunnels? And then once you decide, it's just like you with your keto thing. I think that was a really good example to start the show, although it probably wasn't planned. Your support team. If your wife was doing it on her own, she might not have lasted. If you were doing keto on your own, you might not have made it through the keto flu. Support system is huge. So you have to, just choose. So I laugh because my daughter is 15. She's learning to drive. And she's very, very timid about pulling out in traffic. And we live in a very busy town. So everybody from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, all those places, they all moved to North Carolina to retire or live a better life. So they all drive like they're still in New Jersey. So everybody's doing 90 all the time. And she's a little timid. And so I tell her, you've got to commit and go. Like, just decide what you're going to do and do it. And whatever the consequences may be, they'll be, make good choices first, but commit and go. So I think that's the key. 1, commit. 2, go. And 3 is your support system. So as coaching, the whole premise behind getting a business coach or a life coach or any kind of executive coach, whatever, is support, encouragement, and accountability. So if you can find those 3 things in your life, maybe you need a coach, maybe you need somebody to say, are you really doing what you're supposed to be doing? But if you can find support, someone to encourage you, and someone to hold you accountable, then you'll be successful.
Well, and another thing I'll add to that is if you have that need for money, If your life is in a place where you're $327 short every month, an extra grand covers that and gives you some extra money to do whatever. So I've been in that situation plenty of times where it's like the pain of not having enough income. I'm going to do what I need to do to survive. So if you're in that mode, honestly, I mean, this isn't my saying, but we live in the best time in human history to be an entrepreneur, to have side hustle. I know plenty of people that are career people with side hustles. I've got a friend with a side hustle that does 750K a year. And I'm like, what does your main job do, bro?
Life is hard.
He calls it his project. And I'm like, oh, right. Okay, cool. Can I
Life is
have
tough.
in? But it's, if you can use Google and you're willing to put in an hour a day, just learning and figuring stuff out and just letting people know that you're willing to set up their MailChimp or their
But
whatever.
Game of Thrones is starting. I'll need to watch Game of Thrones.
Be entertained and broke, or be on your way to financial freedom and less stressed, your choice.
Oh, such decisions, Jason.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Any other thoughts about this topic?
No, I think it's good. I think we have done an excellent job of encouraging people to walk out that path, which is a good path to take.
Yep. And I'll even go further and say, if anybody listening has questions for Brandy or myself, you can email me and I'll make sure Brandy gets it. inspire@greyfoxbusiness.com. That's GREY, foxbusiness.com. Let us know what your questions are. We'd love to get some of those and even respond to them right on the podcast.
Ooh, we could have like a little mailbag section.
We might start doing that and just fake the questions so we can get it started. We'll write them to each other.
Perfect.
So, yeah, absolutely. Well, as always, if you guys want to check out the audio version of this podcast or the video, they're both available at intentionallyinspirational.com/podcast. You can subscribe there if you like. And
we want you to.
Absolutely. We absolutely want you to. We know we have a worldwide audience as well. So love to hear where you're listening from or watching from. We can see some of that on the stats, but it's really cool. It's really cool to be reaching out and hopefully making an impact on you. So we appreciate you.
Commit and go, man. Commit and go.
All right. I'm signing out for this episode, Brandy.
Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later.
Yep. See ya.